The scorching Syrian desert sun burned through the lenses of the Barrett M82 rifle. Lieutenant Jake "Phantom" Morrison controlled his breathing, eyes fixed on the target 200 meters away. 3 years as a SEAL Team 6 sniper had turned him into a lethal machine of precision. "Phantom, this is command. Target confirmed. You are cleared to engage," crackled the voice in his earpiece. Jake adjusted his scope slightly, compensating for the 8 km/h wind blowing from the east. His finger caressed the trigger. A second later, the shot echoed through the rocky valley. The terrorist general fell before he could even hear the sound of the bullet. "Target neutralized. Extracting now," Jake murmured, quickly breaking down his position. But something was wrong. Very wrong. The silence on the radio was his first warning. The second was the metallic click of multiple AK-47s being cocked behind him. Jake turned slowly, facing 8 armed men, their faces covered with black scarves. "Drop the weapon, American," one of them said in heavily accented English. "You are surrounded." Jake quickly calculated his odds. 8 to 1, no proper cover. His extraction team was far away. He had been betrayed. Moving deliberately, Jake set the Barrett on the ground. His right hand, however, slid subtly toward the tactical knife strapped to his thigh. Not today, he thought. In one explosive motion, Jake threw the knife, striking the first man in the throat. His body twisted, using the second terrorist as a human shield while drawing his Sig Sauer pistol. 3 shots, 3 bodies dropped. But it wasn't enough. The butt of a rifle smashed against his temple. The world spun. Knees hit the rocky ground. Another blow. Total darkness. Jake woke up with the taste of blood in his mouth. His hands were tied above his head, wrists raw from the coarse ropes. The stench of mold and urine filled the air of the underground cell. "So, the American sniper finally wakes up," a soft voice said from the shadows. A thin man stepped forward, eyes cold as stone. "I am Khalid al-Rashid. You killed my brother 2 hours ago." Jake spat blood. "Long line." The punch came fast, snapping his head sideways. Khalid grabbed Jake's chin with brutal force. "You will tell me everything about American operations in Syria. How many men, which targets, everything. Name, rank, and serial number," Jake replied. "That's all you're getting." Khalid smiled coldly. "We'll see." The following days became a blur of brutal interrogations. They broke 2 of his ribs, tore out a fingernail, deprived him of sleep with blaring music. But Jake Morrison was no ordinary man. The SEER school, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape, had prepared him for this. He built a mental refuge. He thought of his younger sister, Maya, an army doctor. He thought of his father, a Vietnam veteran who taught him never to give up. He thought of his SEAL brothers, knowing they would come. They had to. On the 5th day, something changed. Khalid entered the cell with a laptop. "Your government denies your existence, sniper. They claim there are no American operations in this region." He turned the screen, showing an official Pentagon statement. Jake felt a chill but kept his expression neutral. Standard Black Ops protocol. Officially, he wasn't there, but unofficially, his brothers would come. They had to. 5,000 kilometers away, at the Dam Neck Naval Base in Virginia, Captain Maya Morrison stormed into the Special Command briefing room like a hurricane of determination. "I want answers. Now." Her voice cut through the chatter, silencing the room. Commander James Hammer Patterson, leader of SEAL Team 6, stood up. "Dr. Morrison, I understand your concern, but—" "My concern?" Maya interrupted, her eyes blazing with restrained fury. "My brother has been missing for 5 days in hostile territory, and you're telling me he wasn't even there?" "It's protocol. To hell with protocol." Maya slammed her hands on the table. "Jake is your best sniper. You sent him on that mission. Now bring him back." A tense silence filled the room. Finally, Hammer sighed. "Sit down, doctor. I'll tell you what we know." In the next 30 minutes, Maya learned the brutal truth. Jake had been sent to eliminate a high-level terrorist commander. The mission succeeded, but Jake never made it to the extraction point. Satellite tracking showed an ambush. Then nothing. "We have to assume he's been captured," Hammer said quietly. "But officially, We can't acknowledge the operation. Politically? Politically? Maya snapped. While politicians debate, my brother is being tortured. That's why I'm forming an unofficial team, Hammer said, voice low. We need someone who knows Jake, who can identify him quickly in a chaotic situation, someone with combat training. Maya met his eyes. I served 2 tours in Afghanistan as a combat medic. I can shoot, I can move, and I know my brother better than anyone. Hammer studied her for a long moment. You realize if this goes wrong, the government will deny everything? You could end up in a cell next to your brother, or dead. When do we leave? A thin smile crossed Hammer's face. I like your attitude. We've got a lead. One of our informants spotted Jake being moved to a compound 50 kilometers outside Aleppo. We have a 24-hour window. The room erupted in activity. Maps unfurled, routes debated, weapons checked. You'll pair with Sergeant Rodriguez, Hammer said, introducing a stocky man with kind eyes. Reaper, this is Dr. Morrison. She's coming with us on the extraction. Yes, sir. Reaper extended his hand. Your brother saved my life in Iraq. Time to repay the debt. Maya gripped his hand firmly. Let's bring him home. The Black Hawk helicopter flew low over the Syrian desert, its blades slicing through the night air. Maya checked her ballistic vest for the 3rd time. Her fingers brushed over each piece of gear. M4 rifle, backup pistol, trauma kit, smoke grenades. 5 minutes to LZ, the pilot announced. Hammer gathered the team. Listen up, quick in, quick out. Reaper and Doc hit the south flank. Viper and I hit the north. Ghost and Blade hold the perimeter. We find Phantom, neutralize threats, and extract. 10 minutes max. What if he can't walk? Maya asked. Then we carry him, Reaper said simply. The helicopter touched down 3 kilometers from the compound. The team slipped into the moonless night, silhouettes invisible under night camouflage gear. Maya followed Reaper through the rocky terrain, each step deliberate and silent. 40 minutes later, they were in position. The compound was a 2-story structure surrounded by concrete walls, 2 guards at the gate, movement in the upper windows. Hostile count, at least 12. Hammer murmured over comms. Ghost, do you have the rooftop shooter? Confirmed. Awaiting your signal. Maya peered through her NVGs, heart pounding. Jake was there. She could feel it. Execute in 3, 2, 1, go. The night erupted into controlled violence. Ghost dropped the rooftop sniper with a silenced shot. Reaper and Maya breached the side door with an explosive charge. Hammer and Viper stormed the front. Maya moved through the hallway, rifle raised, adrenaline roaring in her veins. A terrorist appeared on her right. 2 shots, center mass. He dropped. Stairs going down, Reaper shouted. The basement was a maze of concrete corridors. Maya could hear screams, gunfire, chaos above. Then she saw it. A reinforced metal door with a heavy padlock. Here, she yelled. Reaper blasted the lock. The door crashed inward, and there he was. Jake hung from chains on the ceiling, face swollen and bloody, ribs clearly broken, but his eyes still burned with defiance. Jake! Maya rushed to him, hands trembling as she searched for the key. Maya? Jake's voice was hoarse, unbelieving. You shouldn't. You're insane. Yeah, shut up. Tears streamed down her face as she freed him. Jake collapsed into her arms, barely conscious. We've got him, Reaper yelled into the radio. Extracting now! Then an explosion shook the building. Dust and debris rained from the ceiling. Reinforcements incoming! At least 20 hostiles! We need to move now! Maya slung Jake's arm over her shoulders, half dragging, half carrying him through the hallway. Reaper covered their rear, firing short, controlled bursts at the advancing terrorists. Stairs ahead, Reaper called. Jake groaned with every step but forced his legs to move. Leave me. I'll slow you down. Not a chance, Maya growled. Not after crossing half the world to find you. They burst into the ground floor amid chaos. Hammer and Viper were entrenched behind a fallen wall, exchanging heavy fire with hostiles above. Ghost, we need cover! Hammer roared into the radio. On it! A series of explosions rocked the compound. Ghost had rigged C4 at key points, creating a curtain of smoke and debris that blinded the enemy. Go, go, go! Hammer ordered. The team stormed through the front door. Maya ran with everything she had, practically dragging Jake. Her lungs burned. Muscles screamed, but she didn't stop. 50 meters, 100, 200. Bullets whistled by. A ricochet clipped her helmet, nearly knocking her down. Reaper appeared beside her, grabbing Jake's other arm. LZ ahead! Maya could see the Black Hawk's lights flickering in the darkness. The helicopter was already lifting off, rotors slicing the night. The rear ramp was open, a gunner laying down suppressive fire. Jump! Hammer shouted. One by one, the team dove into the moving helicopter. Maya hurled Jake inside, then leapt after him. Reaper followed. Hammer was last, firing until he was aboard. All inside! Go, go, go! The pilot yelled. The Black Hawk climbed sharply, pulling away from the burning compound. Through the open door, Maya saw vehicles converging on the area, headlights cutting through the darkness. Targets locked, missile incoming, someone shouted. The pilot banked hard. Flares exploded from the tail. A smoke trail roared past where they'd been seconds before. Second missile. Evade. The world spun. Maya clutched Jake, shielding his body with hers as the helicopter danced through the sky. Clean! We're clear! A collective sigh of relief filled the chopper. Maya exhaled, hands trembling from adrenaline. She looked down at Jake, his head resting on her lap, eyes half open but alive. You're insane, Jake muttered, a faint smile on his cracked lips. Runs in the family, Maya replied, tears finally flowing freely. Hammer appeared beside them. Good work, Doc. You're one of us now. Welcome to the team. She held her brother's hand, feeling his weak but steady pulse. They had done it. Against all odds, they brought him home. The Virginia sun streamed through the rehab clinic windows. Jake did push-ups, healed ribs leaving only faint scars. 3 months of therapy, psych evaluations, endless debriefs. But he was alive. You're really going back? Maya asked, leaning against the doorway. Jake stopped, looking at her. It's what I do, Maya. It's who I am. I know, she sighed. Just promise you'll be more careful. I can't storm Syria every time you get captured. Jake laughed, a warm, genuine sound. Deal. For the record, you were incredible out there. Hammer won't stop talking about recruiting you full-time. I've got patients to take care of, Maya said. But if my idiot brother ever needs saving again, I'll be there. Let's hope not, Jake said quietly. But thank you for everything. You saved my life. You'd have done the same for me. Without hesitation. They sat in comfortable silence, the bond between them stronger than ever, forged in battle, tested by fire, unbreakable. Hey, Jake said suddenly, Hammer's hosting a barbecue this weekend. The whole team will be there. You coming? Maya smiled. This family's getting stranger by the day, but yeah, I'd love to. As they walked out of the clinic together under the afternoon sun, Jake realized something vital. Missions mattered, duty mattered, but family, whether by blood or by battle, was everything. And for that family, he would fight until his last breath.